Hold on, everyone. We took this quick break out of the podcast to let you know that if you want to be a nurse, a certified successful nurse, the best place to go to get you great training is at Margate Medical Training Center. They have very good flexible class schedules, and also they have flexible payment plans where you can pay for your classes little by little by little until you pay it off. Now, the number to reach them is 954-588-4149 or 954-960-2808. Let me repeat that for y'all one more time. It's 954-588-4149 or 954-960-2808. Now, let's go back to the podcast. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Student to Life podcast, where learning and unlearning has no limits. I am Stretch, and my co-host Shan is not here, but today we have a very, very special guest here with us, Mr. Mikerlange. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce it. Mikerlange Barthelemy.
Yeah, this is he.
Right. So, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
So first off, I want to thank you for having me here.
Mhm.
I appreciate that. So really what I do is I'm a world-class Olympian trainer. So I work with people that ride horses mainly, and I work with athletes, couple, day-to-day people that, love to work out, that like to stay in shape. And so that's what we do. And my training facility is named Limitless Performance out of Wellington.
Right.
And that's really what we do.
So if you see the logo, it says limit, and then you have the less than sign.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like that. I was a personal trainer, and the reason why I did it was to kind of motivate people to get to the level that I was at, to give them the feeling that I had. And one of my mentors always say, giving is always the most selfish thing to do because of the feeling you get from giving. So
That's true.
when I was training people and seeing the results and seeing, because I was charging little and nothing to do training because I just liked it. I like to see the transformation and helping out people. So what made you want to become like a personal trainer?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really see myself as a trainer in the beginning. I wanted to be a doctor growing up. So I went from wanting to be a doctor and then to now doing what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And it all boils down to, like, a lot of times at a young age, you think you want something in life.
Right.
But then you start realizing that you start finding a passion for something.
Mhm.
And I learned back in the day from one of my clients that I met, and shout out to Steve. And he said, if you can wake up every day and do something for free
Mhm.
without worrying about getting paid for
Right.
it, then that's your passion.
Right.
And so that's where I found my passion with training. And now I work with some amazing people, like Trey and a couple other people, and
Right.
very grateful for it.
Man, listen, one thing I learned when I was in college, I changed my major like 7 times.
Yeah,
Because
you didn't know what you wanted.
Right. Somebody was telling me you need to be a doctor. One was telling me you need to be a firefighter, and I was doing this and I was doing that. And my passion was right in front of me the whole time. But instead, I was thinking about how much money I could make by doing all these things.
You were thinking about what people are telling you, what is the right way to do it, so you don't disappoint them.
Especially we from the Caribbean, so
Yeah.
they'll tell you be a doctor because that's the easy way to make money, and that's always hiring, and you need to jump into that field. And I'm like, that's not what I really want to
Man,
do.
being from the Caribbean, man, I'll tell you right now, if y'all from the Caribbean watching this, if you come from a Haitian family or Jamaican family, whatever your mama tell you to do or dad tell you to do, that's what they want you to do.
Exactly. They don't see you as anything
But
else.
as you know, the good thing is when you get older, you start realizing what you really want to do. Sometimes it happens that some Caribbean families, kids, their parents say, hey, you should be a doctor or a lawyer.
Right.
And they turn out to be a lawyer or a doctor because they grew up loving it. But for me, it wasn't it. I didn't see myself being a doctor, especially in the field that I was trying to be in was a gynecologist.
Right.
And I didn't see myself wanting to be a gynecologist.
So the crazy thing, when I was in high school, all of my friends were in like engineering classes and electrical classes, and that's why I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it because I liked it. I do it because all of my friends were doing it. And now when I look back at it, I wish I did like some culinary classes or some business classes or some accounting classes, because that's what I need right now.
That's
compared
the day-to-day basis
Right.
that you do, yeah.
I don't do engineering stuff no more. So going back to that,
So to personal training, what were some challenges because I know why I stopped.
Hello, everyone. We took another break out of the podcast to let you know that on July 15th, I'll be celebrating my birthday. My birthday, that means all of y'all gotta pull up on July 15th, and we're also celebrating the 4th year of ecstatic sound being in existence. So all of y'all gotta pull up right here in South Florida at Lounge 84. You can go ahead and grab your tickets on Eventbrite, or you can follow us on Instagram for all the information that you need. So on July 15th, I'll be celebrating my birthday and Ecstatic Sound's 4th year anniversary at Lounge 84. Make sure you pull up.
Yeah.
Because
Why'd you stop?
For me, it was just a headache, just trying to motivate people all the time. Like, you need to, want to do something for yourself. I didn't feel like every day I got up, I should be like, there was people that was complaining about losing weight, but you're not eating healthy. And I had to be checking on you, like, are you eating healthy? And literally being on you every step of the way. Be like, you really don't want it for yourself.
Yeah.
So that was 90% of the clients I was getting. The other 10% was a little motivated, but they go in and out. So at that point, it was just like, move on to something else.
Yeah.
So what about you? What are some challenges that you face?
I mean, what you said just now is it's probably one of a trainer's biggest challenge is to really trying to keep their clients motivated and on track, because just like we were talking about passion earlier, is that when you're passionate about something, you're gonna do it regardless.
Right.
So for you, that wasn't the passion there.
Mhm.
It wasn't there. So for me, that's also a big obstacle for me. But I don't really let it affect my business.
Right.
But there's ways, to try to make somebody or a client wanting to do it for themselves,
Right.
because we're driven by results and also by accountability and seeing things. So once they start seeing it, they kind of really realize how it works now.
Right.
But for me, it was I grew up in Haiti, so born and raised.
Right.
But I think for me, when I first moved there, it was a matter of being able to stand up and making a name for myself and
Right.
showing people like, hey, without saying the word, and just showing that, hey, I came here to do this and to run this, and I'm the best at it.
Right.
So I think my biggest challenge is I'm a giver, just like most people are.
Mhm.
So it was hard for me to say no at the end. So
Right.
I had to start learning how to separate those two things between work and giving. So
Right.
because remember, I started doing this for free before even making a lot of money with it. So I used to tell people all the time. I used to be like, hey, anytime you want to work out, tell me. So a client could say, hey, I want to work out at 10 p.m. at night.
Mhm.
I forget that I need to get sleep.
Right.
And I said yes, but and now if somebody said that, I'm gonna be like, I can train you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. or 6:30.
Right.
So it was, so for me, it was a matter of setting boundaries. So knowing when to say no to somebody that I care
Care
for,
about, yeah.
but also I need to put myself first, and knowing that I need to make sure my mind and I'm in a good mental state of mind, because remember, every day we're performers as a trainer. So every day we're giving people our energy. We're giving them, we're giving them more time, and also we're giving them more attention. So I had to know what time it was to go home and reset and kind of like have some alone time and study and try to help myself become a better trainer. So for me, that was one of the biggest, I'd say, obstacles I've had. And it's just after I started learning how to make people really enjoying the workouts and the process, it became second nature.
Right.
So I think every trainers go to different phases. Some people go to marketing and workouts and consistency. So I'm happy to say that I didn't really go through those, because I had already been and doing training so much. So for me, it was like second nature.
Funny enough that you talked about the boundary you set when it comes to even your time. For me, when I started, my schedule was get up at 4 a.m., train my first client by 4:30, 5 o'clock. My last client in the morning was 8 o'clock. Then I have to go to work from like 9 to 5. 5:30 is my next client. I train from 5:30 until like 10:30 at night. That was my schedule for like weeks. My body was just starting to break down.
Yeah.
Break down, break down. And now I had to set boundaries and be like, yo, I can't do the 5 a.m.s no more. And I have to charge this amount of money because it's not going to be worth my time.
Yeah.
So I had to just cut that off.
And some people too, they don't really understand what it is timing, you know?
No.
So a lot of people, when you say time, they think, you know, you're asking for more money or you want something out of them, but they
Right.
don't realize that you're also human and you need
Sleep.
sleep, you need rest,
Yeah.
and you need time for yourself. So a lot of people had issues with that.
So what's so you train athletes, right?
Yes.
What's the difference between training an athlete and a regular person?
I mean, the difference is it's in the mind. At least for me, because I love what I do so much is that I can turn, you know, a regular person that walks through the door into an athlete.
Right.
So it's all in the mind and who you're dealing with. So like, who is your trainer, and that what the interaction that you're having with your trainer, and how they make you go from point A to point B to C all the way down to the alphabet, right? So for me, I walk them down that road, and you know, sometimes I train athletes in the gym, and I have somebody that's not an athlete, just a regular person, just watching it, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so cool!" I'm like, "Well, you can do it too," you know.
Yeah,
So
you just make it fun.
yeah, I make it fun and I make it exciting, and you know, just by letting them watch a professional athlete or an equestrian rider do what seemed to be cool and hard for them, and then I tell them, hey, maybe one day we can do it, and then exactly in a couple months, I get them to do that workout. It's life changing. A lot of people find to really enjoy that, and that's what I try for. I thrive to make people, you know, reach certain goals that they don't think they would reach.
Right. So in their mind, they might see it as impossible because it's an athlete doing it, but you make them think that, okay, you can do it too.
You can do it too.
Yeah. So what's because I asked everybody that came on the health season, which was our first season, we asked them about the connection between how you eat and how you work out.
Yeah.
When I was a trainer, I tell everybody the percentage is 80% of what you eat, and it's 20% workout.
That's facts.
But a lot of people, some people, like, their body's different. So some people want to lose, some people want to gain, some people want to tone and maintain. So I think some people like misunderstand the eating healthy aspect.
Yeah.
You know. So what is your take on that?
I do think dieting and eating properly is a big, you know, it's a big necessity when it comes to working out. One thing that I do is I lead by example. So Monday to Friday for me, I don't eat crap. I eat, you know, clean meals every single day. Sometimes I do intermediate fasting. Sometimes you know, it all depends. So I try to trick my body.
This episode of the Student Alive podcast is sponsored by Vintage Flowers and Events. For the Valentine's Day flowers, for your Mother's Day flowers, for your Christmas, your anniversary, whatever you need these flowers for, these teddy bears, whatever arrangements, you could hit up Vintage Flowers and Events.
Yes.
The number to call to make orders, place orders, or for more info is 754-423-4673.
But I'd say, you know, dieting is like 70% of the battle, and then you work out the other 30%. But all of it comes down to being consistent, because the more consistent you are, the better results you get, and you know, the more comfortable you find yourself in the gym, and not only in the gym, and your clothes, and you know, especially with women, some women, they don't feel good stepping out in nice tight clothes, but once they start eating good and start seeing the results, And now they're starting to add it up and realizing, because it's all in the mind if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
People just want to eat whatever they can eat because they don't know what to eat. But once you guide them and say, hey, Monday to Friday, just eat, broccoli, chicken, fish,
Right.
whatever. You give them a simple like guideline, then they just realize, oh my God, I just did this for 2 weeks. It's not that hard.
Right.
And I tell them on the weekends, I don't care what you do on the weekends. Like,
Yeah, it's your free time.
but I need you to lock in on Monday through Friday.
What I do is I break down the science to a lot of them, because what I tell people is, imagine eating bad for 30 years of your life, and then now you decide one day you're gonna get up and start eating healthy. It's gonna take a lot to adjust. They say it takes 3 months to gain a new habit, to gain a new skill.
That's true.
It's the same thing to change your diet. Your taste buds have to change. Your body has to adjust to that food. When I stopped eating, I haven't drank soda in like 6 years. I haven't drank no soda. And if I should drink a cup of soda right now, you could probably have to take me to the hospital because my body's not used to that anymore.
Yeah.
But if you stop eating like fruits and you eat fruits, it does nothing to you because that's what your body's supposed to intake.
That's what your body deserves.
Right. So that's what I break down. When I break down the science to a lot of people, like, it's not easy to transition from, let's say, eating meat to being a vegan. A lot of people get headaches because you get withdrawals from eating heavy foods. Your body gets withdrawals, like it fiends for it like drugs.
Yeah.
So the same thing with sugar. If you stop eating sugar for a long time, you get headaches because your body is craving for it because it's so used to it. Just imagine taking 30 years, you're doing this one thing. It's not going to take a year to break that whole habit. Just that easy.
I call it consistency.
Right.
The more consistent you are, more results you're gonna see.
Right.
The more at ease you're gonna feel, body-wise, the joint, head, and everything, mental.
Yeah.
It's a whole 9 yards. So for me, I preach a lot about consistency to my clients, and luckily for me, I make it easy for them because I try not to make it too complicated, because you want somebody to enjoy working out, right? But the moment you start adding that complication, they're gonna fall off because it just takes too much time,
Right.
takes too much energy, and especially with somebody with a busy schedule, it ain't gonna work. So that's why I try to keep it as simple as possible and
Not too hard.
too stressful on them.
They're gonna in their mind when it's too hard.
Yeah.
They see it's a block for them. Like, you want to walk to that door, but you know it's hot outside.
Exactly.
So you're thinking of it so hard just to walk out there.
So I keep it very direct and straight to the point.
Yeah. All right. So that was the first season where we talk about health. Now we're gonna dive into the love and relationships part of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, where we talked about the different type of relationships, which are like friendships, business relationships, and even romantic relationships.
Yeah.
So let me ask you first before we go any further. Are you single? Are you married? In a relationship?
I'm single.
Single.
Yeah.
So why is it hard to date as a personal trainer?
I mean,
Because I know you might have some clients coming in.
really,
You know.
it ain't hard at all. All you gotta do is post a couple, workouts on IG, and everything else work for itself, But I'd say for me, it is hard because I'm single, but I've been married before. So I divorced my ex 3 years ago.
Right.
No, 3.5 years ago. So I already know what I want.
Right.
So like I try to be very hard on myself, and maybe sometimes too hard. Because I know what I want. So it's just like I put my peace of mind first. So if I feel like I start hanging out with somebody or met someone and and the energy's already off, I think about my peace. I'm like, damn, you're definitely not gonna leave me at peace. So I kind of pull back. So that's the type of guy I am, and I love what I do too. So I try to, keep it, strictly, professional with work, and try not to like get too crazy. Even, on the weekdays, I have a strict schedule. Monday to Friday, I don't go out. Or I don't go, unless it's business related.
Right.
Then you're gonna see me at dinner. But Monday to Friday, you're not seeing me outside.
So when I went on your Instagram, you guys, like you and Trey, you guys talk about your faith a lot.
Yeah.
Which is like Christian faith and believe in God. So does your partner have to be like just as much in the faith as you guys?
I mean, if I said yes, then I'd be like ignorant, and I say because a lot of times people don't really have too much belief in God. You
Right.
know, like granted, me and Trey, we from I'm from Haiti, he's from Delray Beach, so we kind of like
Click, yeah.
click because we pretty much if you grow up in Delray and you grew up in Haiti, you had the same lifestyle.
Right.
You weren't a privileged kid, so but all we knew was hard work and believe in God and have faith. So for me, it's something that's in you, and when you meet that person that makes you want to have that faith, I think it's contagious.
So
So
they're probably seeing them too. when you
yeah,
meet them. Yeah.
it's and a lot of time if a woman or a man likes that person that they're dealing with, they'll let them teach them about faith and,
Right.
and the man above for sure. That's
it-
what I believe in.
Is it a goal for you to be married again?
It is a goal. I would love to be married and have kids for sure.
No kids yet?
No kids yet, thanks to God. I just got a dog, so we're gonna stay with that for now. But the goal is definitely to get married and hopefully build a family. But I'm not really stressing myself over it. I feel like I've done the marriage thing before too, and if I meet somebody I don't want to get married, and that wants to have a strong partnership and grow and build a legacy, I'm into that too. So it's just a matter of working with each other and knowing how to have a good chemistry and communicate because communication is key when it comes to dating, and so it plays a huge part in the love life for sure.
What I would say about especially single life is I tell a lot of people when you're single and you take the time out to work on you or you as a person yourself, anybody that's coming into your world has to make it better.
Oh yeah.
You have to add some value emotionally and even physically too, because you need somebody that's not gonna slack off with you, like laying in the
Exactly.
bed and not want to go to the gym. And
Oh
'cause
yeah.
I'm a person like if you're not trying to stay fit and eat healthy and do all these things, we're not gonna.
It
we're
ain't
gonna
going. It
click,
ain't
no.
going. It ain't going to match.
Because
Hey everyone, if you are here in South Florida, please check out Skyless Hair Studio. That's SKYLYST, where we specialize in hair care, locks, colors, cuts,
You can
all
do
that
mine
good
too?
stuff. Yes, we definitely do men's hair as well. Okay, so we are here in Tamarack, Florida. Check us out and we'll take care of all your hair in a little bit.
So where can they find you?
You can find us at CEO Your Life_Skyless Hair Studio on Instagram or online at skylesshairstudio.com.
Hey.
All right.
I always say if we're in the household and I want my kids to eat healthy.
Yeah.
And if you're teaching them not like to eat the junk food
McDonald's,
and buns,
Burger
right,
King. Nah, we ain't doing that.
you can't feed my kids that. You get what I'm saying? So you have to choose your partner based on these things. Because a lot of people, when I date, I see myself be married to you. And if I don't see that happening, that's not going to work.
Exactly.
I want to know who you're going to be as a mom, who you're going to be as a leader of the household. You know, who you're going to be as a partner, even as a friend too.
Yeah.
You know, because you want somebody who you can travel with, you can do things with. So
You want a companion, a best friend, somebody you can be goofy with,
Right.
hang out, and like someone that brings you peace.
Right.
It just goes back to peace, like just like you say about being single and working on yourself, and just by being single allows me to work on myself.
Right.
So when you bring that person into your life, what it does is it allows them to get the best version of you, and you make them the best version of themselves, and it's vice versa. But a lot of people get confused with it because we're living in a world now. It's all about what you put on social media, and
Right.
like it's all about your that clout that you bring. So you got people that looks for that too. So it's a lot going on now.
I want to hear your opinion on this. I'm gonna ask straight to it, but I want to hear your opinion, right? With having kids, right? We talked about how being a parent, changes the kids, and how these problems that, is, for instance, you break up with the partner, now the kids are affected by this,
Yeah.
right? What do you think about that culture that we have now in our society, where basically we're just having kids with everybody type of thing, where we're not working on ourselves first, because your mental problems could literally be passed down to your kids
Yeah.
and your grandkids, and those mental problems, if you don't fix them, they're gonna keep passed down and down and down. So I always tell people, go to therapy, work on yourself, work out your problems. All of us need therapy, I think. I think everybody needs to talk to somebody.
Exactly.
And I feel like when we talk about genetics, depression, anxiety, all these things can be passed down to your kids, right? And I tell people that if you don't fix these things could destroy your bloodline.
That's
easily,
true. Yeah.
You know? So what do you think about that? Like, people just, having kids just to have kids, basically.
I mean,
Not even not even in a healthy relationship. You just have kids just to have.
I don't think that's it.
Right.
I mean, I grew up, like I said, I grew up in Haiti, so I'm kind of like old school when it comes to, family stuff, because I believe the word family is worth a lot and it holds a lot of weight. So to me, having kids in the U.S. now, it's kind of like, it's a stress. And sometimes I think, I'm like, shit, do I really want like my kids to grow up here? Because a lot of times the way a child is brought up is what determines their future.
Right.
And we live in a society now where the way these childs are being brought up right now is what the future is gonna like. And that's not the child's fault, it's the parents' fault.
Parents' fault, right.
So a lot of people forget to work on themselves. And that's something I preach every day, all day, because even with working out, it's you working on yourself. It's one step that's gonna get you closer to bettering yourself and wanting to better yourself as a person. So I mean, it's
builds
tough.
good habits.
Yeah, it
Working
helps
out
you
builds
build,
good habits where
Yeah.
you
helps you build good habits, and it's also it's something that helps you better yourself always and for the future. So
Right.
that's what I think.
So, in closing, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Traquan Smith Foundation, where he's doing the football camp this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about what he's doing now with the kids, and how does that teach like a child, like about the NFL, about fitness? What contribution do you think that that gives?
I mean, what Trey is doing for this town of Delray Beach is something that would stay in these child's heart for a very long time, and they'll grow up and remember those days and those amazing camps that he put on for those kids. Because as a young teenager myself coming here, I didn't have anybody to support me, to show me which way I should go. And what Trey is doing right now, he's giving those kids the opportunity and giving them the roadmap to pretty much figure out what they really want, and like showing them love and showing them that they matter as a young and up and coming kids. Because really our youth right now is our future. They're gonna be the next president, the next athletes, the next Traquan Smith.
Right.
Those kids are gonna be all that. And so, and Trey and I, we're similar. We're like brothers, man. So we have the same heart. We love to give. We love to see people elevate. So we do a lot of work together when it comes to giving back and stuff like that. So that's where I stand. I think it's amazing, and even for myself, it's gonna be something very memorable that I always remember. And for those kids, I think it's something that they'll never forget about. That's gonna take them, even to their professional career. They'll be like, "Yep, I remember working with Traquan Smith, and now look where I'm at." So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so
A
it's
lot
amazing.
of people don't talk about Delray Beach a lot. Coming here, because I drive by here for most of the time. So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't talk about it, but to see him doing that, it's bringing a lot of attention to the town. Yeah.
Bring a lot of attention to the town and to those kids. A lot of people right now that needs that are in position to give back don't realize it. There's a lot of places, especially in Palm Beach County, that there's some kids and families that need help. And to see people like Trey noticing it at the level that he is, and it's amazing, and it's something that's always gonna carry Trey's legacy with him for sure.
Well, Mike, appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, no, appreciate you for having me, and yeah, this was amazing.
Okay, so that's another episode of the Student to Life podcast, where learning and unlearning has no limits. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and share with your friends and family.
Subscribe.
Make sure. See you guys again next time, all right?